1B. And the turbocharged Allison power of the Rizzlies as it heads out onto this 2.5-mile course. And Jerry Hopp out of Seattle. There's Jerry now, driving for Al Thorson, the owner of the U7 Thor Racing. Followed by Mitch Evans, as I said, is the son of Norm Evans, also a driver back in the 50s and 60s. Todd Yarling from just down the road in Hanover, hoping to do well in front of the hometown fans. And Chip Hanauer, headed up in the Miller American team by John Walters. 4 more boats now here in Heat 1B, and with all due respect to the rest of the field, the Miller American getting a great break, the only turbine here in 1B. So Chip Hanauer and the Miller American, all of them safely behind the starting line of the gun, and here we go. There's Mitch Evans in the Pepsi America's Choice. They call it the Miss Pepsi. It's the old Miss Tempest based out of Seattle. The Miller American already all alone going into the first turn, so this should be indeed a cakewalk for the Miller American. Chip Hanauer out of Seattle going down that back chute. It's always very treacherous in that area, but with a lack of traffic right now, Chip getting what he needs, and that's plenty of open water. Second place is Jerry Hopp and the Thor Racing. The 4th place boat is the U-22, the Rizzlies audio video. Todd Yarling out of Hanover, Indiana, just a few miles up the road. They want to compete so well here in front of their hometown fans, but there's something wrong with the engine, and that is a shame because they ran so well in Miami and in Evansville, Indiana last week. Here comes the Miller American coming around the second turn to complete lap number 1 under the Madison Milton Bridge. His speed's considerably slower than that of the Saginaw 1 of the Budweiser, but again, he is not being pushed. 123.7 miles per hour on lap number 1 for Chip Hanauer and the Miller American, which is getting better and better every race as well. Second place is Thor Racing with Jerry Hopp, and would be 300 points for him if he can complete 2 more laps. Down the back chute, the Miller American. Chip, who spent the winter time making several appearances for the Miller Brewing Company, went scuba diving in the Caribbean, also went snow skiing up in Whistler, British Columbia. That's his favorite spot. Look at some of the traffic now as he gets into some of the wakes, cutting behind the Rizzlies, which is having a tough time right now. Looks like a fuel problem possibly. Coming down, though, completing lap number 2, the Miller American and Chip Hanauer at a speed of just under 120 miles per hour. Thor Racing, that is an Allison engine, supercharged Allison that Hopp is working on, trying to improve each week. The Miller American, the boat designed, of course, by Jim Lucero. Here's Todd Yarling in that starting boat. You can hear the engine surging. It does sound like a fuel problem of some sort, which is a crying shame because, as I said, they got a second place in Miami. There's some of the crew. Ivania, which is Todd's sister, and an extremely good crewman, by the way. And they are not happy with what they see, of course. Miller American on lap number 3 on this 3-lap preliminary heat. Jerry Hopp likewise. Not sounding all that healthy either. But like I said, it's the luck of the draw. Miller American got this same break down in Evansville in their first heat when it was the only turbine in Heat 1B. Likewise this week, chance to pick up 400 points and save wear and tear on the turbine. The Miller American in first place. Mitch Evans in third place in the Miss Pepsi out of Lake Chelan. Runs a marina down there in central Washington on Lake Chelan. Todd Yarling really laboring now with the Rizzly audio video, trying to somehow complete this heat and pick up the points. Chip Hanauer lapping the field in the Miller American, which comes as no surprise. Hanauer, the national champion in the Miller American back in 1985. Then Jim Kropfeld in the Budweiser won it last year. And these two have been exchanging speed records, course records for the last couple of years, back and forth. But on this Heat 1B, it is all Miller American, and 400 points go to Chip Hanauer in this first preliminary heat for the Miller. So the Miller American, which was a winner here last year, picks up 400 points. Then Thor Racing, Pepsi America's Choice, the Rizzlies, failing to finish. Down to the pits.
Chip, how about the water conditions out there? And that number 2 corner looked like it was kind of rough for you.
Well, I don't think the water's so bad. I don't think we've got a very good setup here. We just can't seem to get the boat to handle.
Well, now, you've had that problem in the past, but you've already corrected it. Now, you had some pretty top qualifying speeds. What happens when you go into competition?
Well, that's just the point. You know, it's one thing to qualify, and we knew when we did a fast qualifying lap yesterday that I really couldn't do that in a race. I was really hanging it out, so I don't know. We know what we need to do to the boat. We just don't have time, and we'll make those changes before Detroit. Just have to kind of limp through today, I guess.
And everyone knows the water doesn't get any better on the Detroit River. We'll return to Madison after this.